Good morning, people. Welcome to the program. We are definitely happy to see you guys here, especially those that are returning every Saturday, those that are sharing this information, those that do understand that we are in a dire situation and something needs to be done urgently. So, thank you so much for the work that you're doing behind. We are not used to giving glory to people that are always behind, doing the greatest. We are here to share the news, but we know that we have lots of people powering what we are doing out here every Saturday. So please, we thank you. We see your work. We know that you are a good steward. You are doing what you're supposed to do. So we appreciate you. So as usual, please help us to share, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, all those things that we need to do for this information get across. Um, to get across. So we thank you for your time. My name is Mona Saga, and I'm here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you, our viewers. Those that are coming here for the first time, you're welcome. Those that have seen our video for the first time, you're welcome. And those that are returning, thank you so much. Like my sister just said, help us to like, share, subscribe, follow us on YouTube. Um, and if you have questions, during the show, please type it in the comment section. We read your comments, during and after the show. So if you have questions, I will definitely come back and reply the questions you have. And we recognize the fact that 1 hour is not enough to handle each topic that we choose. So what we do here is to get you thinking. When we put some things out, and we want you to please, after the show, go and do your research, verify what we have said, and find out even more for yourself. These things are in the public, they are not hidden, and we are able to just gather them together so that your thought process can be also gathered together, and you'll be able to. The more you look, then you'll be able to see more as well. My name is Dr. Ekwi Simon Okube. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. So we will continue to share and before we start. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Queen. So give us a few minutes to share because some people, for some reason, they are not able to get this program. So I would love to send that off and then we'll get started.
The process can be also gathered.
Oh, yes. Okay, guys. We have two people watching. Welcome to the program. Um, Please help us to share. That's what we're doing right now. So if you have a group, you can share amongst the group. Um, like we said, we need this information to get across to every one of our people. You know, we are ready to get our freedom. We are ready to move on and build a nation that other people will be jealous of. We don't have time to waste. We are waiting for our people to wake up from their slumber so that we can move. The sooner we get these things done, the better for us because time is of essence. The universe is ready for us to move. The question then is, are we ready to move? Are you ready to move? Reconnect. Are you ready to move? Are you ready to do what needs to be done? Um, Continue to share this information. Continue. Knowledge is power. If we understand what we need to do, we will not be here crying they are killing us, so Fulani this, so Fulani that. We will move swiftly with the power and the knowledge that we have, and we get going. It's just that simple, and we bounce. So the problem that we are struggling with right now is that a lot of people do not have the knowledge. They are waiting for a fake emperor to come and save them. They're willing to take lies and pretend like they're doing things online when they're not doing anything. So I hope that we are matured enough that we have passed that stage at this point because we need to go. We really, really need to go. We have no time for this mess to continue. So our topic says exploitation of Africans by Africans. This is not the first time we have heard this. We know that they have willing tools that they are using to continue this mess. And those willing tools, they are not too far. They are inside your neighborhood. Some of them are inside your bedroom. They are benefiting from the sufferings of our people. They are getting money. Our politicians will give them money. They will be singing the names of the politicians while we are dancing to it, actually. So they sing with the name of our oppressors, and then we turn around and dance while our oppressors' names are being mentioned. So you can see they are all over. And then, if that's not enough, we will go to churches, on Sundays, different churches on Sundays, and they will tell us that is the voodoo in our family is holding us down. Is your brother that eyed you while you were eating? Is your nephew? Is the old house that you have from your great grandfathers? And we knocked everything down for them, yet the situation remains persistent. Nothing has changed. So you can see it's not our forefathers, it's not our grandfathers, it's not our village, it's not the wicked uncle that we know for sure that he's wicked because he lacks the power, he lacks the capacity to do anything to you except to be wicked. Is that nation, that 1999 corruption called constitution that is holding us down. There is no new Nigeria that will come under this imposed 1999 constitution. Should I say 1999 corruption? That's the new name for it. No new Nigeria will ever come. Not even Jesus Christ of Nazareth will not bring you any new Nigeria under the fraudulent 1999 constitution. NINAS is the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination that represent the real owners of the land, the people, and the resources being exploited by foreigners for centuries now. We've been doing the wrong thing and expecting a different result, as if we are mad, as if we don't know that there are other ways to do things, as if we don't know what to do. A lot of us are working in big companies in America, directing what they are doing, working in a higher level, in a higher capacity. When it comes to our people, you become dumb, become dumb and even useless, for lack of better words. Wisdom has taught us that we could not put a new wine in an old wineskin and expect everything to be good. If we continue to do that, everything will be ruined. The recklessness of our political class has been the single most dangerous and greatest hindrance to our desire and for self-rule and improved coexistence for all the indigenous people that is trapped in this fraudulent Nigeria called or fraudulent Lugard experiment called Nigeria. The divide is now between those like us who honestly desire new wine, and we are working tirelessly towards the effort to ensure the new wine skin, and those that want to continue to be obedient to some 1999 corruption that will never go anywhere, to something to the car, to the car that we were told that did not have any engine. We are all jumping into the car, expecting to drive a car with no engine. We can see that we are wasting our time. So today, join us as we continue to engage our people in what we need to do and even a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things and doing it, not just saying it in your bedroom and not just complaining in your bedroom, coming out and actually doing things, if not for anything, for the future of our children. So if you want to stop the exploitation, we must stop the exploiters and stop reinforcing their tools of exploitation. We are going to name them out for you, just in case if you're too hungry or too tired or too sleepy or too all the evil they have unleashed upon us so that we are not thinking the right way. We are going to help you to pinpoint those things that we need to deal with in order for us to make some steps towards our self-determination. Thank you. Go ahead, sister.
Thank you so much, our people. We will point out the things to you because we want you to understand what we're saying. We don't want you to be confused in any way. Like we said, 1 hour might not be enough for us to finish giving you all the points. But when we point you to the direction we're going, you will get the rest because we know you are smart people. They've done so many things to sabotage our intelligence, sabotage our reasoning, brainwash us. They ganged together to get us down. But we know, and we have this confidence that as we continue to enlighten our people, as we begin to continue to call on you and make you to see things the way they are really, pushing you away from lies and propaganda to truth, so that you will see the manipulation, you will see the deception, and by yourself, you will begin to reason out even more. We're going to play this video for you. Listen very well. It's so that you understand what the issues are and what the solution is. That is what we're trying to do in this program. We want to embrace our reality and then begin to tell you, okay, based on this reality, this is the strategy. Collection of steps. You do 1, you do 2, you do 3, you do 4, and then you get to the destination. We are not right here trying to crack to get ideas for you. No. This work has been done based on proper research, intellectual research, and then professionals came together and put the strategy, the propositions on the table. All you need to do is to interrogate this proposition, embrace it while we work, because we don't just come to social media. This is not where the work is being done. The work is being done on the ground. But we come here to brief you. We come here to update you. We come here to enlighten you so that you be part of it. We don't want you to be follow. Our people have done follow for too long. We want you to reason and articulate what is going on, and so that you'll be active participants in what is about to unfold. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, my sister.
Strategic objective in all of that is to find a way to drag us to election at a time we are saying we can't go to election on account of rejecting the constitution that we don't want anymore. And so when this, when this presidential candidate is thrown at some southerner and they quietly converge in the PDP, we hear today again that some of the leading candidates have all stepped down, the Tambuwal and who else was in the fold of Mohammed, whatever. There are 3-4 candidates that have already stepped down for Atiku, the Fulani. And so the PDP ticket will be in the hand of a Fulani man. And the rest of the Caliphate North will rally everybody they can rally according to the explanation of Tambuwal, so that they will win the power. But the APC ticket being dumped, the empty APC ticket being dumped on somebody from the south, that could be Tinubu, that could be Amechi, that could be Jonathan, if what we read on the internet begins to prove true. It will just be a matter of pretending that there has been an electoral contest, but the caliphate already determined the outcome because they control the electoral machinery in INEC 100%. So, I mean, at what point they've shown you where the figures are, where the demographics, converge, and how they're going to work around it to take. So, the purpose of this, broadcast is to let those from the south and the middle belt who are not listening now to know that the caliphate, those who are holding us hostage, in bondage, and who want to save that constitution by going to election under it, at the time we say we can't go to election anymore to renew the life of that constitution, are only playing all their cards to get us to that election. And so if you are one of those, whether you are in PDP or APC, going towards that, the end point, the day after, the morning after the election, is that another Fulani man will have won election legitimately. 4 years added to the one they have now, and the conquest will continue towards us, against us. So let it be clear to all. Let nobody say they thought they will win. There's no possibility of any of you winning. Anybody from the South or the Middle Belt who is going to buy purchase form to be president of Nigeria knows in his heart of hearts that he stands no chance to win. He's only playing the role of Judas code to help drag all of us to that election to validate the process the caliphate desperately wants. They all have one skeleton or the other in the cupboard for which they want, instead of going to address the issues that have come to consume the Nigerian Union itself, they are busy validating the process that have been predetermined. Every other thing is just a show, window dressing, make believe. The question of the ticket of the party that will win if we get to election is settled on their side. So they're in control of the two machineries. They're in control of the two parties so that they can put whoever they choose. You saw their convention and how it ended up with a list they had to generate in one corner. So all of those who are standing around, they're just validating the process by which the caliphate will want, struggling to save that constitution. But we are just letting them know that we see what's going on. And no matter what they do, whether they get to the election or they, crumble before they get to the election, or they crumble at the election, or they even get to voting stage and swearing in somebody, this onslaught against the 1999 Constitution is only going to be further intensified. Nobody is going to be permitted or allowed to govern Nigeria on the basis of that fraud. We have a whole year now to go and sort out the matter, or we get ready for sorting it out on the street when those who are at the receiving end will say they can't take it. And it's not a fight against Fulani or Caliphate. It will be a fight first against the people from the Alliance territory, from the South and the Middle Belt, who have been waving this party flag when their peers from the North are waving ethnic flag.
Yep.
That's what's going on. The Caliphate politicians are waving their regional flag. Our own, renegade elements pretending to be politicians are waving party flag. And they just laugh at all of them because they don't even know the big game that is being played. We are telling those from the South and Middle Belt who are involved, no matter their party, whether it's ABGA or APC or PDP or Youth Party or Mega Party, the type of Tommy and Co are trying to put together, Third Force, all those things are just validating because as long as they all subscribe, all the parties subscribe to the 1999 Constitution, that's where it ends for us. Anybody who is prepared to support an election that will, that will renew the life of that Constitution is the enemy that the people of the South and Middle Belt are looking for. Let it be very clear to them so that they don't come to tell us, oh, we didn't understand it. That's what you are doing. We are at war in which represents an existential threat against us. And we have a chance to escape to safety. What you are doing is roadblock to that safety by dragging us to election in the manner that you have been drafted to do. Let the word be enough for the wise.
You know what the funny thing about this? This group of people that are going for this election, they have not even asked what's going to happen if really, yeah, right. There's always plan A, plan B. What's going to happen when whoever your candidate gets there, nothing changed for you, just like nothing changed during Buhari when they promised to give youths money, give you job, turn Naira into this. Guess what? All you have done is to enhance the ability of the Fulanis to come and capture you under your bedroom, under your bed, under your wife's wrapper. They will come and collect you, the man, and pull you out and cut your whatever, your manhood. That's what you're doing. So have you asked what is going to happen if all this is said and done and nothing changes? Grown men and women.
The unfortunate thing that has happened is our people's inability to think things through. Now they have brought out TikTok for our people, and they will just TikTok. Yeah, nobody's thinking, going through a process. What will happen if this does not happen? What will happen if this happens instead of this? What do we do? What's my next plan? What's my fallback plan? No, they just follow like sheep. Follow. And what will happen will happen. And mind you, this video was done even before these parties declare. So Ninas is making intelligent predictions. This is not your pastor that entered somewhere, drank Gary. After drinking Gary, he became very cold, slept and had a bad dream, and came out and said this is prophecy. That is not what we are talking about. We are talking about intelligent predictions based on reality on ground. You will research it, go through it. That's what they do here in US, UK, all these foreign countries. That's what they do. You will make research because human beings do not change overnight. What they did yesterday, they will do today, they will do tomorrow, except there's something very drastic to change them. So it is actually easy to make certain predictions. You study, research, see what they've done, do little a question here and there, you get information. Before you know it, you're on that, and these people do not even have what they're doing. So it's so obvious what we are in. The situation that we have found ourselves is clear, but people want to deceive themselves. And the unfortunate is that they want to drag us also into that their deception. I'm able to think. You are not able to think. But you want me to follow you in that your thoughtlessness. That's your inability to think. You are angry that I'm not coming with you. My dear, how do I come with you? I'm able to think. And all my life, by the grace of God, I've been able to think through challenges, solve problems, and provide solutions that work for me. It is a process, everything in life. But you decide not to think through. You just want to be sentimental and jump to the left, to the right. It's not going to work. Thank you so much, Sister Mona. Sister Mona, she always does this beautiful PowerPoint and come out with different colors and everything, looking beautiful. Things don't happen by itself. Somebody sits down to make things happen. That's what it is. If you want something beautiful, you sit down and make it beautiful. You have been given the power to do so. So our theme phrase is, if you want to stop exploitation, then stop the exploiters and stop reinforcing their tools of exploitation. That's what it is. And somebody will ask, where do we start from? Because it seems people are overwhelmed with everything that is going on. Okay, we say, begin by identifying and dealing with the internal colonizers. Here we told you about external colonizers and internal colonizers. We told you that the external colonizers cannot be successful except there are internal colonizers that they are working in partnership with. So you want to, my people say, no, oke no n'unu, na agwa oke no n'ezi, n'ofia, na azụ dị na ngịga. It is the rat in the house that tells the rat outside or in the bush that there is fish. In Ngiga is like a basket where we keep fish in our place. You understand? So if you want to stop the rats that keeps coming from the bush to take your fish, start from killing off or stopping the rats that are inside. You can put something to incapacitate them. Stop them from the activity they're doing, because I want to change my word. I don't want somebody to come and say, I told them to start shedding blood everywhere. There's no need for bloodshed. If you use your intelligence, you can incapacitate people in so many ways. Just use your brain. If somebody is having, there was a time Good Luck said something like, oh, we are worried about goats eating our yams. He said, then keep the yams away from the goats. It's that simple. And we have people that are able to carry out these things. The Nina's LNC team, they have been on the ground researching and bringing out information for us. But what are people doing? Dishonest people plagiarizing the work and doing as if they're not hearing. And these people that we call internal colonizers, they are in the religious sector. They are the traditional priests, the church priests, the pastors, the bishops. They are in cahoots. They work together. They are internal colonizers. They exploit our people and colonize them and help the external colonizers to perfect their work. We have the politicians. Yes, they are all internal colonizers. The social influencers that my sister spoke about, that they will be singing, the politicians will give them money to sing and praise them. They're celebrating abomination. In our culture before, when somebody does something abominable, you have to appease the land, and then if you refuse to, we will excommunicate you. These days, we celebrate criminality. You say, he's doing good for himself. Somebody that could not buy a bicycle before he went into politics. When he becomes a governor, a senator, House of Rep, whatever, he will buy houses in Dubai, buy houses in London, buy houses in US. Our social influencers will be singing for them and say, they're doing well for them, calling them names, hailing them. These are a part of the internal colonizers. Our traditional rulers, the ones that the politicians are now giving certificates. Yeah, for you to be Igwe in your village now, the politicians, the governors will now give them certificates and put them on salary. How can they speak for the people? These are part of the internal colonizers. Of course, we don't fail to mention the fake freedom fighters, the 419 people that live in the comfort of their homes abroad, making money from the pains and sorrows of our people. These are internal colonizers because they are distracting our people from concentrating on what will give them self-determination. That's why we call them, they are all criminals. They are internal colonizers. So we want to look at the definition of exploitation. What does it mean? Somebody will say, because we like giving our terms, clear definition. And if you want, you can Google it. Google will tell you the same thing. Treating someone unfairly in order to unduly benefit from their work or resources at the detriment of that person. That is exploitation. Treating someone or some people unfairly in order to unduly benefit from their work or their resources at the detriment of the original owner. That is exploitation. Look around you, you see them, the pastors. These are internal colonizers. We're talking about what Africans do to other Africans. We know the Westerners have done so many things and are still doing. However, like we said, they have partners in our land, aiding and abetting them, helping them to make their work very easy. Look around you, you find them. We want to give us some background information. Remember that exploitation of Africa and Africans began by the Western world since 1500. 1500. So for over 500 years now, Africa has been under the yoke of exploitation. That's why we're not moving forward. It is the resources they stole from Africa that they used to build 3 powerful continents. South America, North America, and Europe. It is not today. They set up 3 exploitative mechanisms. Transatlantic slave trade was one of them, where they got cheap African slave labor that they did not pay for. They came to our land, stole the best of us, stole the best of our people, went home free of time to exploit them, did not pay them, did not do anything to them, rather put them onto you as if cows were working. The way you go and get cows, yoke them, and they're working in your farms. That's what they did to our people. That is our history. That is our background. For people that are saying Africans, this is our, nobody is speaking about it. As when people shouted, they brought colonialism. They say, okay, if we steal your people and you're crying, we want to come into your land and colonize you. We want to enslave you in your land. So colonialism started. And when we shouted, hey, well, we don't want, we want freedom, we want independence, they switched it to neo-colonialism. That is where we are today. And we want to say that exploitation and the breaking down of Africa and Africans by the Western world wouldn't have been possible without the collaboration of Africans, directly or indirectly. There's an article our sister wrote. Our sister Ndidi Oweche, she's a retired London police. He called it The Smart African. Sister Ndidi is a direct victim of Fulani's evil in our land. After her work in London, she retired, hoping to set up farm in her father's land. She used all her retirement money to set up a farm. What happened? Fulanis came, destroyed the whole farm. That is the story. For those that are denying the Fulanization agenda, there are people in our midst that are direct victims, and we are dealing with them. Completely destroyed everything. So there's an article she wrote. In that article, there's a report, from Badagry Slave Museum in Lagos, Nigeria, where they have what you call Well of Forgetting. Well of Forgetting. Story says that when Africans were being stolen from their land as slaves, that the African priest, the traditional priest, the fraudulent traditional African priest, the corrupted ones, we give our people water from the well of forgetting so that they will forget the horrors of slavery. Both the one they did to them before they ship them, the one they did when they are shipping them, or the one they will feel when they get there. They say they use magic to do all that. That could be research because we know it might not be just magic. I'm sure they are putting some things that damage maybe the pituitary gland or something. If you do the research, we're going to find out what they did. So these people, they had such powers to brainwash our people. Now, does this not sound the same like what the church is doing today in brainwashing our people? So that they do not even know what is going on. So that the more they look, the less they see. We're saying if our people have such powers, why didn't they use the power, the drink, to the colonizers? Why didn't they catch the external colonizers and give them water from that well so that they will forget and stop being wicked? So that they will teach them how to stop being wicked. So they will forget the wickedness they came to do if we had that type of power. So that you can teach our people how to escape and rise away from the evilness of their people. Why didn't they do that? Today we have our bishops, GOs, pastors, priests doing the same thing, giving our people water from the well of forgetting so they can drink it and not even realize what they are doing to them, so that they will not seek self-rule as put on the table by Ninas. They keep distracting them, so they continue to exploit them and render our people poor and vulnerable to both internal and external colonizers. We are talking about what Africans do to Africans. They brainwash our people, so they will continue to accept the slave camp, and tolerate the abomination, celebrate the exploiters, because according to them, God is going to come one day to deliver them from exploitation. Or they will tell them that when they die, they will go to heaven. They pour anointing oil on the criminal politicians so that they can win elections, because they pay tithes to them and buy private jets for them. There's this Anglican reverend or canon, I don't know. He's an oil contractor. You need to see him working, because all of them, that's what they do. They protect their business. It is business, it's not spirituality. They work with these politicians. The politicians give them oil contracts. And if you're telling them, let's do this so that we can be free. No. And they will call themselves men of God. Bishop print books and force our illiterate people to read them. Our villagers that cannot read books, they force them to buy those books. Daily manna, daily devotion, whatever. This is what is happening in our land. We are talking about Africans exploiting Africans at all levels. Anywhere you look, you see exploitation. There's a wrapper that our women tie. They call it Mary Sumner. One piece of it is 6,000 naira. Ordinary cloth in the market is 2,000. But that Mary Sumner is 6,000. Everybody must buy it. All the women, Anglican, Roman Catholic, they must buy the head of one woman that they don't know. Why would you put the head of your mother they suffered for you and tie it and carry it? Meanwhile, other Christians in UK and London, they do not tie that wrapper. It's only Africans that tie wrapper. We're talking about exploitation of Africa by Africans. Instead of bringing Christianity for us, they brought Christianity, where they impose their own kingdom and dogmas on our people. The more our people embrace these dogmas, the more they depart from God. The more they depart from love, the more they depart from love for their land and their people. It is now love for the kingdom that they brought, whether it's kingdom of Rome, kingdom of England, kingdom of Wales, kingdom of America, wherever, kingdom of even Yoruba land, wherever the kingdom came from, kingdom of Adeboye, they will embrace that kingdom and leave the kingdom of God. Some of our women, we have 5 uniforms in these churches. Women that have not eaten, women that their children have not paid school fees, they will force them to buy these uniforms. They are busy running business empires while our people are dying. We are talking about internal colonizers. We're talking about politicians, church and religious leaders, social influencers, internal exploitations, exploitation of Africans by Africans. We'll talk about social influencers that my sister mentioned, that they will sing and dance for the people. At different levels, we are being exploited. At individual level, we are being exploited. Family level, national level, community level, international level, anywhere you look, you swear.
Who isn't here for on? It is finished.
Yes. Anywhere you look, if you're a woman, you'll be exploited for being a woman. If you're a youth, a young person, a child, you'll be exploited. You're vulnerable in a family as a child, your uncle will rape you. If you're a girl and you are shapely and you look nice, your cousins will rape you. Your neighbors will rape you. If they give you a cup of water, they will rape you. If they give you biscuit, they will rape you for it. Exploitation everywhere you look. Our widows are being exploited. Women, they lose their husband. Rather than empathy, rather than how we used to do to help them to raise their children, we will exploit them. Steal everything from them.
Sleep with mama and the 3 daughters.
Sleep with mama and the 3 daughters. Politicians. We give them money that they stole from us. Rape the mother, rape her 3 daughters. Because she's giving them money. Because the woman is crying, looking for money. Her husband didn't leave any money for her because Nigeria happened to them. At every level. In the family that are exploiting you. And when they call marriage, it is not marriage, it's exploitation. The woman is exploiting the man is exploiting the woman. Everybody is exploiting everybody. Defrauding everybody. At the national level, like we'll keep talking about, the structure and the resource allocation formula that they use is just for exploitation. If not, what is a big deal in us having true federalism? Why will you be coming here every Saturday to shout, to tell people, no, this structure is not working? The structure where you have unitary constitution, where the indigenous ethnic nations cannot speak their voice, where they cannot live according to the ways of their life, that this is not working. Why do we have to say it 2 times before somebody listens? Exploitation. You want to keep the status quo. You want to keep the fraudulent structure that will exploit our people, that will make you steal the resources, give it to all your wives and mistresses. We say, let's put this structure where all the regions and ethnic nations, no matter the size, whether small or big, will be able to speak their voices, use the resources in their land to build their land and build their people, taking governance to the level of the people. You say, no, you're not going to do that. Please, can you go back to the other? You don't want to do that. You want to rather exploit the people. At the community level, customs, culture, and tradition, these are meant for human beings, not human beings meant for culture and tradition. They will tweak our culture and ways of life in order to use it to exploit poor people, exploit the weak in our midst. take from them, take their lands and resources from them at every level. Communities fighting communities. You know the truth, oh, but you will go and say, this is the other one to say. You get to international level, they use war and crisis to exploit Africans. But they will have to use Africans to actualize that. When they say they want to do trade, it is not fair deal. It is all about exploitation. When you see war or crisis anywhere, what is going on there is exploitation. They want to steal the resources of the people. That's all. They steal the resources of the people and destroy everything that they want to do. Mention these social influencers because we want to break it down for you to understand. Some of these social influencers are not able to think. The people that are coming to lead our people now and tell them they know the way, they are not able to think things through. Some of them dropped out of school. Not that it's bad if school is okay, but for you to know their brain capacity.
They can't finish anything that they start. They
Exactly.
can't manage a wife and 2 kids. They can't manage anything.
Exactly.
Struggling in every department.
But suddenly, the politicians will give them money. They will sing and now tell you that is this politician that is right. If you ask him question based on what, he doesn't know or she doesn't know. They're leading Nigerians vigorously towards damnation, where they will be colonized, singing for them and shouting everywhere as if they know. Are we talking about the traditional rulers? The people that ought to be the custodians of our culture. Now they're inside the pocket of governors and politicians. The other day I heard the other governor sacking 3 monarchs in Southwest. Why won't he sack them? Because he's paying them. They are the ones that will appoint them and give them certificates. Now, politicians give certificates to our traditional rulers and pay them monthly. How can they now speak truth to politicians? How can they speak in defense for the people? We have mentioned fake freedom fighters before. All they do is make noise. The essence of that noise is so that the politicians will notice them and give them huge sum of money. They are not working for the freedom of the people. We remember the infamous sign sealed and delivered by Nnamdi Kanu and Atiku and P2B because they did it together. We were in IPOB then. It's just so that money will be given to them. They make too much noise. They bring that money out of the people and give them. And the people that are shouting freedom, freedom will be on the other side, just shouting, and hailing the Messiah, in quotes. But they have settled themselves. And then he will come and make the announcements.
Yeah, money that he got from St. Peter be right?
Exactly. Now it's no more Biafra, it's obedience. Does it make sense? We are talking about exploitation of Africans by Africans. We want to get self-determination. We are working on it, but some people will not let us. They want us to continue to remain in this slavery so that they will continue to steal and exploit from us. Because when you have the proper structure, exploitation will end. Things will be working like it's working in other places, but they will not want it. They will keep distracting our people, even to the point where people say they want freedom, they will still not allow them. They will want them to go and be killed by the colonizers. If you check all these internal colonizers, they have some things in common. First, they are very dishonest. They are greedy. They are selfish. And the only thing they care about is their selfish ambition. All of them. They have no love for the people. And they use lies and manipulation of truth to do everything they do. That is why we tell our people, stop following them. Stop the exploitation. You can do it. Stop it. Whether it's at the individual level, because what we're telling you, we work for you at all levels. At individual level, at family level, at community level, at national level, and even international level. It can be stopped. And then somebody will say, let's look at the tools or institutions of exploitation. We have mentioned some because all these things are all interwoven. It's really sometimes very difficult to separate one from the other. They work together. This one helping this one aiding this one. So you have to really look with your eye, like you're putting eye inside water, to see which one is. They interconnected. At the international level, the international influencers, these are the Westerners that come to influence our people. They work seriously, but what's the aim? Is for exploitation. There's what they call international trading, whatever. War, crisis, terrorism. They will build up terrorism. Boko Haram. They are the one that will build it up. Strategically put them in, empower them. Even herdsmen. Because I've told you, herdsmen, the cow they are carrying cannot buy one AK-47. We keep telling you. One AK-47 is about $2,000. Selling of cow cannot buy AK-47. But see them, they have it all over with motorcycle and everything. Somebody trained them. Somebody equipped them. Somebody put them together. That is terrorism. Terrorism machinery. Who put it together? This is what we tell our people. This is how we want you to be reasoning. When you see things, don't just take news off newspaper. Ask questions. Who did this? How did they do it?
And for what?
And for what? Exactly. For what purpose? If you can ask these questions, it will help you to embrace the solution on the table. It will make more sense to you. Because if you don't understand the problem, I tell you, you will not be able to prefer solution to it. The first step when you have any challenge or any problem is first to accept that you have that problem. Recognize that you have that problem. Ask yourself, what is the root of the problem? Where is it coming from? Then you'll be able to solve it. At the national level, they put an illicit constitution. We're talking about tools of exploitation. A military constitution called the 1999 corruption, like my sister said, because it's an abomination. It's 1999 abomination that they called constitution. You cannot use a military constitution to run democracy. It's not possible. It's mainly for exploitation. So that's why they exploit all of us. Whether from the north, middle belt, south, east, south side, everywhere, there is the exploitation. But what is making it possible? The tool of exploitation. That is the 1999 Constitution. Because you don't own your land. If you don't own your constitution, how can you own your land? How can you own the government? You don't own all this. It belongs to them. Judiciary, the constitution is when you have the constitution, the people's constitution. From the constitution, you now have government. Is from the government, then you have rule of law, judiciary, executive, national assembly. All this will come from the constitution. The constitution that the people made. What is constitution? It's a social contract saying this is who we are, this is how we want to live. So in that constitution, we recognize our diversity, we recognize our ethnic diversity, recognize our multicultural nature, recognize everything. Now said, based on this, we the peoples, not we the people of Nigeria. There's no people of Nigeria. Because Nigeria is made up of ethnic nations, ethnic indigenous peoples, kingdoms, not tribes, trapped together in one entity, illegally, fraudulently, joined and mobiled together. So there's nothing like we, the people of Nigeria. No, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a big slave camp. So it's only when we have decided, we sit down and then recognize, first of all, who we are. Me, I'm Yoruba, Igbo. This person is Yoruba. So we will now say, we the peoples. Then we will not say, this is what is. That means you're going to make your own constitution and bring them together. It's from there we now say, this is the type of government we want to run. We want to run democracy. We want to have judiciary. We want to have rule of law. These are the terms and conditions. And then we say, if these terms are violated, we will do this. That's how things are done.
And they're waiting for you guys to react.
Yes.
As long as you keep acting like you are a slave in a slave camp, they will keep watching you guys because your ignorance is their benefit.
Exactly. So these are tools of exploitation. Politicians and their politics is another tool. They rig the elections, They bring out fake manifestos that they cannot do. It will be sounding okay. They will speak English, because we have told the people that ability to speak English does not mean that you're able to process things. English is just a means of communication. If you can speak it very well, that means you can speak Igbo very well. It's just like somebody that can speak Igbo very well, somebody that can speak Yoruba very well. So if you can speak English very well, it does not mean that you are intelligent. It just means that you learned this language very well and you can speak it fluently. So it's not a show of intelligence. It's not a show of your IQ and ability to process tax, very tough tax, and be able to break them down and bring solution. No. So we have politicians with their fake manifestos that they will meet some people that speak good English to write those things. Like my sister said, the type of manifesto that APC gave our people 2014, 2015, manifesto for change. How they will make $1 to be one naira. Nobody's asking them how. Where are the indices? What are the things you put in place to get this, to achieve this? How they will feed the children in public schools? Nobody's asking them how. How they can create 120 million billion jobs for the youths. How? Nobody's asking. These people now have come again. Atiku, P2B, Tinubu, APC, PDP, Labour, and all of them got together. They have come again with their fake manifestos. And Nina's published 10 interrogatories that you can use to ask them questions. We are talking about tools of exploitation. Religion is another tool of exploitation. Because actually, you're supposed to be a spiritual being, know your God. But that's not what the religion in Nigeria is helping. Whether Islam or Christianity or traditional worshippers, they are doing the same thing. It's all about deceiving the people, manipulating them.
Brainwashing.
Brainwashing them in order to steal from them. The traditional worshippers will say, oh, there's no God. Meanwhile, you are doing whatever you are doing, in your own private life. You tell the people, oh, don't go this way, don't go this way. This person is the witch. Is the come, let's do you, what do they do that one? They tell them they have the Obanje. They should come, let them deliver them from Obanje. And all the things that are not making meanwhile somebody is lazy and not organized. They say it's Obanje that is worrying the person. Oh, come, the church people, the same traditional priests will now go and wear white and become reverend inside church. And now practice Christianity. Meanwhile, what is practicing is traditional, whatever. Like all mixed up. Islam will come with their own, everything mixed up. We are not saying that worshiping God is not good, but we are saying it's evil to use it to manipulate the people. People live here, they worship anything. Some even worship Satan. But because you have the right system in place, whatever you're worshiping does not disturb your neighbor. Worship it in your room. Do whatever. If it's cockroach you want to worship, if it's frog you want to worship, do it in your own private life. We don't care. That will only be when the system is working. If we put system in working, that is working. When we get to the stop sign, you're driving. You see a stop sign, it says stop. Whether you're a Muslim, you will stop. Whether you're a Christian, you will stop. You don't believe in God, you will stop. Traditional worshiper, you will stop. Because it's a societal code. That is, we're talking about systems that work. Harmful traditional and cultural practices. You see them, what they use against the women. They tell you a woman cannot do this. A woman cannot do that. Limiting the women. Most of your population is women. So if you limit women, have you seen that you have limited your nation? If you have 70% of women, for instance, and 30%, and women, 70 are not empowered. They can't work. They marry them, keep them at home. They won't send them to school. What you have is just the little 30% workforce to carry the whole 100%. Have you seen that poverty will chase you like a bandit? We're talking about systems. We're talking about tools of exploitation. So far, you continue to allow these tools by allowing the 1999 constitution that the people did not make to be in place. You will not see any benefit. You will not see any progress. You will not see any development. All you see is exploitation of Africans by Africans at all levels, because we don't have a system in place. I will stop here, my sister. I'll allow you to continue.
My dear, it's overwhelming, but we are on this. So some of you will ask, what are the solutions and the remedies to getting out of this exploitation process that we have found ourselves in? We have mentioned many of them previously in our shows if you're watching, but we are going to point them out to you today once again. So we are asking that we should begin to ask for reasonable or ask reasonable questions about our past and our present at all levels. We should not take anything at what is the what I'm trying to use. Anything that anyone tells us,
It's
we should
value.
always, at face value, there you go, that's the word, that's face value. We should always ask more questions. We should always go and do our research. And God, as God will have it, we have the internet at our hands, at our place of work, at our, even in your hands as your laptop or your device to access some of this information and understand exactly what happened. Because in order for you to move forward, you need to understand the past. And our forefathers have told us this, right? If you got matebe mmiri si baa n'opi ụgbọrọ, for you to make sure that things does not repeat itself. And then we are also asking for decolonization of Africa and African nation system, institution, as well as structures. What do we have to do? A lot of our people back in Africa is doing the same. The president of Ghana, as of October 30th, said that he do not, because he recognized that as long as you're importing things from overseas, you will continue to lose money and pay in dollars. He is working to get rid of all these things we are set up for them to rip you off for. They will tell you you can't plant this, you can't grow this, you can't grow that, so that when there is war in Ukraine, you can't eat bread anymore. When there is a destabilization in China, your life stops. We being able to remove these hands of the criminals out of our soup so that we can enjoy our soup once and for all. We are calling for complete abolition of the Western neocolonialism project, and we are seeking for true independence. And that's what people don't understand. As long as we allow ourselves to remain in the slave camp, that means that we are slaves. Why do I want to stop the slavery when I'm benefiting from it? It's only when the so-called slaves go for an uprising and say, no, I don't want to be used anymore. Now I understand what the problems are. I understand what to do to get true independence that I'm seeking for. And Ninas have put down proposal that will get us to our destination. I know a lot of people is hot for you. You don't want to go through the process. You don't want your business to suffer. You don't want to run away from Nigeria. You're hoping that the so-called election will solve the problem for you. And we have shown you guys, based on previous experiences, that that will never happen. The manifestos can only manifest in your behind. The manifestos can only manifest in the head office of their political party's location. It will never materialize for you. If you want that change, that sustainable change, that meaningful change, you must connect with Nina's proposition. And it's not hard. We're going to show you guys the 5 point demand today, because a lot of people, especially my husband, when he's having, they were like, oh, Nina said this. He asked them, what is number one? They will jump into the evil forest. You ask them, what is number two? They will even go and join the Boko Haram in Sambisa forest. So lost. But they were going out there acting like they know what Nina is saying. So we are going to continuously hammer this into your brain, because I want to, since you guys got all your professional degrees, you don't read anymore. Your brain has stopped working. We must stop reinforcing the instrument of exploitation through election under the 1999 corruption. We are not the only one that have done this before. South Africa did it. Chile did it. Namibia did it. All we are asking is for us to set a process in place so that whether you are a man or a woman, it will be fair to you. Whether people are asleep or awake, the system will work. Because without all of this, we'll be going for 10 steps forward and 1 million steps backwards. We'll be looking to sell all our lands and run out of our space. We'll be looking to pay billions of dollars. Go and do the research. As I'm speaking to you, our people are the most, how should I say, the people that send out their children to the United States for education. The amount of money that they remit for education here, we can use it to build the most beautiful institution that anyone can be proud of. that we are busy giving it away because guess what? With the place lack stability. Nobody wants to invest in a place you don't know why you're building. Somebody will come on a motorcycle with AK-47 and start shooting. Is it so hard for us to do the right thing so that we can move forward once and for all? The world is getting harder. Things are getting more expensive. If we don't start now to rebuild our nation, it will cost us even more. Who knows? Your oil may be drying too. We don't know, as they are piping it from here, milking it from there, milking it from the other side. You may not have anything left. And we are here playing games with the future of our children. We are saying to call for transition now, that we should go for neo-colonialism to decolonization. It's not difficult to do. All you have to do is to understand this thing. Stop cheating. Stop happy and where. I know you have used this since your life and it's working for you, but the buck stops here. It's no longer working for us in terms of building a nation that we can be proud of. We have to go through the process. Thank God for Ninas for doing the work, the groundwork that is needed. When we were all sleeping, that's when I go chop your money, and they are calling the name of our oppressors in a song, and we are singing it in a party and dancing. Somebody abandoned opportunities to create wealth, to make money, to enrich themselves, and they sacrifice it for our collective progress. We are asking to initiate the implementation of self-rule and true independence from the internal colonizers. So that means if somebody is singing with the name of the governor that is holding the teachers' salaries for 10 years, not paying the universities, and our universities are shut down for so many months. We go to a place where they're singing that music. Stop dancing, Banyo. See, anyone like to read this music must be dealt with. Because the only way, like my sister said, we are not asking for you to shed blood. Little things like that, not being able to buy the things that they're selling will make them stop. It's all about money, power of money. If they stop making money, if they realize that their music will not sell because they're promoting the name of our oppressors, then they will have to stop. Where in America do you see people singing and praising somebody's name? Maybe someone that have done collective good for the whole people, and not someone that stole the funding for the development of the state and hand it to you so they can promote their wicked name in your songs. And when we do that, it will put in a place, a system and a structure that will ensure equity, fairness, and justice. We want all of this for both the young and the weak, for the maid, because some people don't believe they're maid, they deserve good things. So you want me and my maid to be sleeping in the same mansion? Yes, we want equity, justice for everyone, including the poor, the weak, the maid, the widows, everybody else, just like you want to get it. We must begin to embrace our diversity. We should not be afraid of saying, I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm Ijo, I'm this. It's okay. It's okay. Begin with liking yourself first. Begin with identify with who you are. Stop trying to be somebody else. That's number one way people will not respect you. When they realize that you are confident about who you are, that's where the respect begins. And I see it every day. People can see who is confident about who they are, not about who your fake self is, about who your true self is. We must examine and scrutinize every structure, institution, and systems and hold people accountable. When they come and promise us that dollar will be dollar to naira, naira to dollar, and that did not happen, we pretend like I imagine when they said it, we don't even remember when they said that. When they said that all the youths will be getting check every month, and they did not, nobody is asking any questions. People move on. Oh, I forgot, you guys have a way, you have a phone number you can call in the diaspora and get some naira sent to you, or dollar sent to you, or pounds. We need to start holding people accountable so that they will not come and tell us there is no engine in this car and this car cannot be driven, and all of a sudden they are calling us to enter the same car. We should be asking which car we entered, the same one you told us to. Okay, tell me how you're going to make it work. It's no longer okay for us to be singing like elementary school students. That's why we have this. And the best of all, we must seek second opinions at all times. Second opinion, go and do your research. Don't let him down. I know people here in Houston. When you hear them be speaking, you will think it's true. They will be calling Jesus in the midst. But it's all lies. Go and do your research. If you know someone is a liar and they're telling you stories, don't believe it, because they are liars and they will always be liars. You must allow a superior argument or idea to prevail. That's how we are going to move forward. We cannot allow people to, somebody else will raise their hand. Yes, I'm going to piggyback off of what Sister P said. And we don't want any pig and any bags. We need to get to our destination. Move on. If your sister or your brother has said what we need to be said, move on. We don't need to hear your voice. It's okay. We are all gonna get. I get you credit tomorrow. It's okay. We need to do better for our children. We are only seeking for a meaningful nation that our children can thrive in. We don't want all this katakata. We don't want all these killings. We don't want all these destructions. We don't want all these like people that don't have any brain, because we know what to do. We just need people to key in so that these things can be finished up with. It is sad. I'm going to pull up the Nina's 5-point demands. If you want to add anything else.
Yes, why I do that? Yeah, I like what you said about opinion, second opinion. If you're not sure about anything, please do not guess. Go and read it up, research, and be sure. We hear people when they mention some of these fake freedom fighters, they mention Montevideo Convention of 1933. And so they don't know that it has been improved upon by the 2007 United Nations Declaration on the Indigenous Peoples' Rights and other international laws and United Nations instrument. So you're not using just one item. You are being current, and that's from research. You will understand the criteria that has been given for new countries and nations to emerge, as well as steps they need to follow so that the nations can be recognized and accepted at the international level. Which is why when Ninas tells you or tells the political parties to close shop or advise people to shut down the 2023 election, it is so that we go into transition. And that transition is part of the step and everything. So it has a purpose, plan, and destination. We're not just saying it because we scratch head. Or somebody will just stay in the comfort of his house in Finland and say, oh, no election. No. To what effect? When we say shut down the electoral process for all, we're not saying boycotts. We're not telling some people to boycott the election. That's not what we're saying. We say collectively in the alliance, all the ethnic nations, we need to stop so that we can go into transition. We are not saying just stop so that there will be anarchy. No, it's so that we can go into what we're supposed to do. It's just one step. Because it is important to Ninas that we have a peaceful resolution of the conflict we are having. We are having union disputes, and we want to peacefully resolve it, involving all ethnic nations, all stakeholders, both at home and abroad. We don't want to go into a major crisis and bloodshed like what happened 1967-70, when the genocide committed against our people and we lost over 3.5 million. We don't want that. So it's just one of the steps. Another step is constitutional force majeure that we did 16th December 2020. Is a step of collection of steps and criteria and process in the self-determination project. You can't remove one from the other. You can't jump from one and say, oh, I take this one pleases me, let me take it. No, it is step by step. So many has happened, then this one is just part of it, and some things will so happen after that. So it's a total different thing when some criminals who are living in the comfort of their homes abroad, 419 people that are making profit from the blood and suffering of our people. All they want is to take advantage of Nina's strategic work. They want to take advantage of people's inability to think through processes. As a result, people are moving by sentiment. So they want to take advantage of that sentiment. And it will not work. You will only lead them to death. They will kill them, and that's what will happen. Just like when we are warning Nnamdi Kanu that the thing you're doing, the shenanigan you're doing, will not lead our people to self-determination. And for some of these crooked lawyers, what Nnamdi Kanu is doing is not self-determination. It's criminality. Killing the people, killing police officers, military, everybody, without any plan. We have told you that there are international rules and criteria for actualizing statehood. You must follow it, and it's step by step. You can't jump off from one evil forest and start killing people indiscriminately and say it's self-determination you're doing. It's not possible. It is not done. You're only doing criminality and exposing our people to danger, and that's why they're dying. That's why what is happening in Southeast. See the number, what economic loss the Igbo people have suffered for not being able to think well and follow a clearly thought out plan.
They would rather follow a criminal.
Exactly, which will include we embracing our present today. That we, all the ethnic nations, it's not only Igbo, all the ethnic nations, Ijo, Tiv, everybody, we have been fraudulently and badly coupled up into one political slave camp called Nigeria. We have to recognize that it takes a process. You have to put a process and a map to everything you are doing so that you don't encroach on other people's lands and resources. You don't end up destroying people that you say you want to deliver. You must follow it. You must involve international stakeholders, involve local stakeholders, your neighbors. Everybody will be part of. You negotiate it on the table. You don't need to be running up and down inside evil forest. Negotiations, talking, discussing. This is part of what we do here, enlightening people, because it's democracy we want. We don't want chaos. We don't want anarchy. We don't want military. We want democracy. So if we want democracy, we will be seen to be using the tools and instruments of democracy. You cannot introduce something that is non-democratic into a democratic process. You can't use evil to solve evil. You have to use good to solve what is not going well. When somebody says something is not going well, you will not go and bring cataclysm and chaos and say that's what I want to use to fix what is not going well. It is not done. Not in the 21st century. So we're going to read the 5 demands of Nina's, the 5-point demand of Nina's. And we have said that these 5 points is now an agenda. No more demand. It was a demand before constitutional force majeure and around constitutional force majeure. Now it is agenda because you do one, do the other one, do the other one. So first, Nigeria is a disputed project. Everybody has to accept it, and everybody is accepting it. There's consensus now. Everybody is saying, oh, constitution is bad. Both politicians, both church people, both the criminals, all of them are saying, yes, constitution is bad. That is consensus. You have just accepted, and you have video to show your acceptance. So all this one you're doing, you go here and lie, go here, talk Monday, you talk this side. The other is like Peter Obi that said Nigeria is like a vehicle without engine. You have just agreed with what we're saying. So why are you not talking another one? You see the criminality and the dishonesty. So that's what we're saying. When things are written down, nobody will be lying today and lying tomorrow. So the first one is that Nigeria is a disputed project. Hence, we declared constitutional force majeure on the 16th of December 2020. So there is sovereignty and union disputes. 1. Number 2, commitment to decommission the repudiated 1999 Constitution. Everybody has accepted. Now that everybody has agreed that we did not make the Constitution, it was military and Fulani and Caliphate and Britain, all the internal and external colonizers that imposed that on us. The 66 class, Obasanjo leading them, IBB, all of them that killed us, conquered us, they're the ones that made the 1999 Constitution. So what you now do is to decommission it. Join in the decommissioning. We already doing, we have done the solemn assemblies in all the ethnic blocks. So we have now moved from there, we move to constitutional force majeure. So you can embrace what we're doing. So number 3, suspend elections 2023 in a brainer. We have said we did not make the constitution, so we did not make the nation. So which election are you going for? Does it make sense? Who do you want to elect? Even if you elect the person, what document will the person use to rule you? Is the document that we have repudiated? Is that what he will not swear to uphold? Like Peter Obi is going to the Fulanis and telling them, I swear, I pay allegiance, and will uphold this 1999 constitution, and nothing will happen to it. Obedient people, you have been sold. If you don't know it, know it. So suspend the election 2023. We are not saying boycott. We say suspend. Use the right word. Political parties in Nina's alliance territory are to close shop, not prepare for elections in 2023 under the repudiated 1999 Constitution. Close shop. Stop selling. All of you. What we're doing is business. We say, close your shop so that we can discuss how we want to live. Dialogue and negotiations with Ninas to determine modalities for a transitioning government. So when you close shop, so that you can have transitional government. It's not close shop so that you'll be running up and down inside evil forest. That's not what we're saying. Close shop so that we will begin another thing. We'll continue this process to resolve our union dispute. 1, we said there's union dispute. 2, close shop. 3, so that we can go and resolve it. Start time-bound transitional government when ethnic nations will conduct their regional referendums to decide whether to recommit to or abandon the union. Simple.
Can you read that again?
Start time-bound transitional governments when ethnic nationalities will conduct their regional referendums to decide whether to recommit to or abandon the union. It's so simple. Take this thing and paste it on your wall in your bed. Print out this thing. Put it on your bed. When you sleep and wake up and say, this is the way to my freedom. This is the way to my self-determination. Any other thing you're hearing, it is the internal colonizers that are organizing it. They want to put you perpetually enslaved. Take this thing, print it. This is the tract you'll be sharing from now. Stop sharing. I told my pastor here, say, see, we have enough Bible in Africa. Stop sending. We want freedom now. This is the Bible you should be reading now. Put it on the way. If you're praying, this is your rosary that you'll be praying. Ekene Maria, this is it. This is what you'll be praying now. Take this in, print it, put it on the wall, and be saying, Papa God. Our people will call it Chindibo, the God of Ndijo, or the God that you're praying for, whether you're praying to cockroach or praying to mosquito, whatever God you're calling on, be praying and say, oh, this is our exit ticket. This is our ticket to freedom and self-determination. Please let this succeed, and I want to be part of it, and I want to be alive to see it because it's coming. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you, sister, for that. So you can see you get the option to commit or recommit or abandon the union. It will be up to you. That is what you call true self-determination. Nobody will force you. It will be what the people want. And like we keep saying, this is a no-brainer. The colonial masters are waiting for you to wake up and tell them, oh, dude, I know what to do to get my true freedom, true independence. I know what to do. But as long as you are willing to run around in the slave camp, they will be willing to collect and buy 5 billion yachts. You know, I didn't even know those big old yachts can cost billions for one person to be riding in when people are dying of hunger. So they will continue to over-collect on your behalf and share amongst themselves because obviously maybe you're not worthy to be counted as human. That's what we're telling them, basically, because if we want more, we will demand more. So in order to end today, our announcement, Sister, if you want to tell them about the Omada conference.
Yes, the Umada conference. In our culture, Umada, We have a lot of systems in Igbo land, and Umuada is one. We have Umunna, Nyondi, and all that. So we have age groups, so many things, beautiful things in our land. So as we continue our lives, because we don't want to just do the talking, we do the talking and do the walking. So the working Umuada have a conference coming up on the 10th of December. It's going to be a virtual conference. That means you need to get your data. All the Umuadas listening to us, Umuada Ezioku, Umuada and the church, Umuada everywhere Umuada are located. Go and get your data. If you want to form group, and so that two of you will share it, or three of you or five of you will share it, so you can call in and be part of this conference that is coming. The Umuada Ndi Igbo, they are calling on all Ndi Igbo, home and abroad, anywhere you're located. If your ancestry is direct to Ndi Igbo, we are being called on. Umuada is making a call. In our culture, when our land is overwhelmed and when our men get overwhelmed, our women, the mothers of the land, the mothers of the children that are being killed, wake up to assist them. So this is such calls. This is such time when the women are rising. In our land, we don't need women liberation because women were never enslaved. Our women in our culture in Igbo land are not enslaved. We work hand in hand with our men. They recognize us. They recognize our position. It's all these colonial masters that came and started causing trouble for us and started breaking us into pieces. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. We never had issue with our men. Our men had their place. We will give them their place. They recognize our place and they will give us our place. Our children will have their place and we'll have a beautiful home. So we never had that issue. So that is where we're going, because we're telling people that we are restoring our land. And restoration of our land does not need the approval of any man or woman that is not part of our land. We are the owners of the land. We will just fix our land. If it gets bad, we fix it. If the road is bad, we fix it. So we are just restoring our land. And this discussion continues, negotiation, planning, and everything. We're already planning. Very soon we start celebrating. You know, when we win come out, we come with dancing. We don't have time for war. Our own is to dance, cook, be happy while we celebrate our freedom. So please, get ready. And then on the 16th of December, Nina's, we have Consider First Major anniversary. Sister Mona, you want to tell them about that, please? Go ahead.
Right. So if you remember from our slide, we mentioned that the constitutional force majeure that was done. Oh my God, I'm not good with dates again. Everything
Yeah,
goes by
16th
too
of
fast.
December, 2020.
22, oh my God, okay, there you go. 16th of December 2020. So this is our second anniversary. And this thing is the job that has been done. This is what I call the Christmas present that is sitting in front of your house. And every day you'll pass it by, say, "Ah, I don't know who dropped this thing here." You'll pass it by. Instead of you to open it and see that someone that loved you so much has delivered a very wonderful present for you. And all you have to do is to open it up and enjoy it. So join us for our anniversary coming up. We'll bring further information regarding that. And we hope to see especially our Umuada in our conference coming soon. When this conference is done, you will see life will begin to come back to our land, because the mother, that's why it's called Mother Earth, not
He
Father
said,
Earth.
he said, he
The Mother
said,
Earth
I'm
will begin
excited.
to grow things. So we
Yep,
are super excited. Our sisters, we thank you guys so much. The planners in the background, we thank you guys so much for this work that you're doing. And we want to encourage every one of us to continue to do the work. Don't
yep,
worry, glory. If I see you, if you want me to bow, I will bow. Glory
yep.
will come to you. We just want a meaningful society for our children. We don't have time for cock and bull stories anymore.
Mm-mm.
We don't have time for going one step forward and 1 million step backwards. We don't want fake freedom. We don't
Mm-mm.
want fake election with fake promises and then we're back to square one. We don't have time for that. We
Mm-mm.
must seek for meaningful change together so
Yep.
that we can get this nation started. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Love you.
Um, if you have questions or concerns, you can always reach us on our phone number posted on here. And please help us to share. We are not good with sharing information, but please, we hope we have viewers that know how to share and share and share. We want people to get this information so that they will begin to have hope. We want to thank Umuada, Umuada Eziokwu, Umuada Igbo, Umuada Eziokwu. We thank you for the work you're doing in the background. We recognize your efforts. So please, let's do this for our children. Don't worry about the fake everything going around you. Let's be authentic to ourselves and our values and our standards so that we can make a meaningful change. That's all this is all about. Okay. Until next week, we shall see you then. Bye bye.